Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Cafino, and I have worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, come learn with us in one of our courses for instructional coaches or our private mentoring packages. Join our global Coach Better community and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. If you have a question you'd like to hear us answer or a topic you'd like us to discuss, please drop us a line on our website at coachbetter.tv/ask, or join our Coach Better Facebook group, or find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch all of our latest episodes here on YouTube. In this episode, we are chatting about the Thrive model for instructional coaching success, which I developed after a decade of working with coaches and school leaders around the world. The Thrive model brings together all of my experiences as a coach, as well as the experiences of my clients and the expert guests that I've interviewed on this podcast. We use this model to structure all of our courses for instructional coaches, and in particular, the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. In this spotlight, you'll get an overview of the model. In the full-length episode, we talk about how the three elements of clarity, consistency, and community can be used to both develop coaching programs and your practice, and evaluate and refine existing programs and your practice. With the Thrive model, we're intentionally designing for a culture of belonging through coaching. Between all of us, we have worked with coaches in so many different capacities. And so I think today we're going to talk about the Thrive model, which is something that I've developed based on my work in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program and with clients, particularly in international schools around the world, but not exclusively international schools. And I've realized over the last maybe year or so that I've been really tying the work that we're doing in the coach really closely to the Thrive model. It has helped the coaches that I'm working with so much in uncovering exactly what they need to put in place to be successful in their schools. So I thought we should have an episode where we talk about this so that podcast listeners can get a little bit of a teaser to what is the Thrive model. And if you are listening right now and you want to dig deeper into it, kind of as we're going through the podcast, there is another free workshop that I will link in the show notes and a free program evaluation that I will link in the show notes so that you can learn more about the Thrive model than we might have a chance to talk about right now in this session. But I'm going to start us off by telling us what the Thrive model is. I know everybody in this room knows, but listeners may not know. And basically, in my work with clients over the last couple of years, last 10 years, decade or so, I have noticed that the coaches that come and work with me have the same kind of consistent challenges in their coaching program. And based on those challenges that I was seeing, I realized, okay, well, coaching programs need to have these three elements to be successful. And the three elements are clarity, consistency, and community. And that sounds super simple. We can all relate to the concept of clarity, consistency, and community. And today we kind of want to talk about why those three pieces are so important in your coaching program to be successful. So I'll just kind of open that up to you all for a second, just to talk about when you hear those phrases, clarity, consistency, community, what kind of comes to mind? What are you thinking about? How are you thinking about that impacting the success of instructional coaching in your experience, either in schools that you've been in or coaches that you've worked with? Kristen, I'll let you go first, and then I'll ask Diana.
Sure, thanks. When I think about my first experience with a coach, there was no clarity, right? And I didn't know really why she was coming in, what the role was, what I was supposed to do. I was so nervous, right? And it's because I didn't know, and there wasn't that clarity around it. And so really just for that psychological safety, understanding this is how we're going to work together, and consistently, this is how we're going to work together. So you know what to expect. That certainty really is, we need that for our students, but we definitely need that as adults. And then that community piece, you realize you're not alone, right? It's one thing to have maybe a team that you work with or the teachers down the hall, but it's unless you're in a co-teaching model, really it's you and your class. But being able to have someone who is seeing the work that you're doing, understanding it at a deeper level, it is so powerful. And so the three of those ideas together it's revolutionary, and it can just totally change the way that not just you are as a teacher, but as the way you are as a human being.
Absolutely. Yes. Diana, do you want to share anything? And then I'll kind of summarize clarity, consistency, community from the lens of the Thrive model.
I can relate also to what Kristen is sharing. As my first job as an instructional coach, kind of came in, was excited about it. From that end, didn't have clarity about the job. And so it just really, I had to spend a lot of time and energy getting it clear for myself, and then also for the teachers that I was working with, and the administrator, the leadership as well. And so for me, it's those three really build on each other. If you're not really clear and have your purpose and you understand that yourself, it's hard for you to communicate that to others. And then you have to spend time communicating that. It's hard to get to consistency if you don't have that base purpose and clarity of what the role is and how everyone interacts with that role. And then once you have that, and then you can build that consistency in practice, because when people understand what's happening, there's the strategies that you're using become familiar, then the community begins to build more. And so I really like that framework. And we've worked a lot with coach participants, and a lot of them start in that clarity part, because they're like, I really need to get clear about my job myself, and then my school community as well. So that really that clarity and that purpose, if I don't have it as an instructional coach, it's really hard. And if there's not a clear with the teachers and with the leadership in the school community, then it's really going to be challenging. And so when those are in place, things run much more smoothly. There's so much more, it's much more effective and meaningful for those who are either the coach themselves or are working with a coach.
Yes. And that's kind of what I love. That's one of the things I love about the Thrive model, is that it makes sense from the 30,000 foot view, and it makes sense from the individual, the macro and the micro viewpoint. When you're thinking about clarity, as Diana was just saying, with clarity becomes purpose. When we're clear on what the expectations are, we can implement the work and then evaluate the results. Without clarity, we can have confusion, miscommunication, and misalignment of roles and expectations. So that's like the big picture of why we need clarity, so that the work that we're doing is aligned with the expectations. And then the clarity, as Kristen was talking about, with you as the coach and the individual teacher you're working with, there needs to be clarity there. And that leads us straight into consistency. As Diana was just talking about, consistency clarifies expectations. When you're able to implement coaching with consistency, you can demonstrate to teachers why they might want to opt in to working with you. When coaching is consistent, teachers know what to expect, so they know it's a valuable use of their time. So when you have clarity around what your role is, you can implement your role consistently and with fidelity, so that teachers know what to expect and they can make the choice to opt in with you. And as a coach, when you operate with consistency, you can also measure the impact of your work, which is something we don't always focus on kind of early in our coaching careers. And then that consistency and that clarity helps build community. And community is what grows that coaching culture. When coaches can develop connections between teachers and build capacity within staff, they're going to build the foundations of a thriving coaching culture. And so that's what the Thrive model does. It helps you move through those three phases of starting with finding clarity, then implementing what you have learned in clarity with consistency, so that you can grow a thriving coaching culture. I have a tendency to look at things from that 30,000 foot view. And so I really appreciate that both of you kind of came at this a little bit more from the individual level, like being able to see why clarity, consistency, and community is important from an individual perspective. Hi, coaches. Thanks for watching this clip with me and Kristen and Diana. If you're ready to dig deeper into the Thrive model to evaluate, refine, improve, or define your coaching practice and program, make sure to check out all of our resources around the Thrive model on our website at edurolearning.com/thrive. You'll find our program evaluation, the workshop, a white paper, and additional resources to support you in developing your coaching program at your school. You'll get a deeper understanding of the model and be able to evaluate your program and practice to see where you or your program has opportunities for growth. Find it all at edurolearning.com/thrive. If you need more support as you're going through the process, please join us for the next cohort of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. The Coach is a comprehensive academic year-long professional learning experience designed for experienced educators who are ready to be intentional and strategic in their instructional coaching role, so they can build the foundations of a thriving coaching culture. This course focuses on the essential foundations of instructional coaching and building an instructional coaching program. In the Coach, we'll support you in developing your coaching practice and program following the Thrive model for instructional coaching success. Registration opens only once a year. Early admissions applications are open right now, and registration for this cohort closes on the 24th of September. Get all the details at edurolearning.com/coach. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you are curious right now, if you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment below, you can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you in your coaching journey. See you next time.